What's happening? Of course, you know it's your boy B Hot Radio Shout In. As always, I got my podcast partner off in this thing. The original hot boy himself, Turk.
Yo, what it do, what it is, man. I'm cool, and you heard me?
Yes, sir. Now, Turk, we got a friend and family member to the show off in this thing. He's leading the country and our culture in this new tech space as well, okay? Mr. Isaac Hayes III, what's going on with it, boss?
What's up, man? What's up, fellas? What's going on?
Feeling good, feeling great. Now, Isaac, we ain't gonna hold no punches. We ain't gonna waste no time.
Got it.
FANBASE. What's going on right now? Because see, what we've been seeing trending right now is that everybody's leaving X and they're trying to find some place to go.
Yeah.
How can we get in the FANBASE, sir?
Well, just go to download the app. It's on iOS and Android.
That's right.
We in 190 countries and territories worldwide.
Okay.
We are a little different than X, but we are better.
Ooh.
For a few reasons. One, you monetize from the moment you get on the platform. Two, we don't shadow ban or suppress content.
Come on now.
You know what I'm saying? Three, you can actually own the platform if you want to invest and have equity in it.
Okay. Then.
And that's really important. But to describe FANBASE super quick is FANBASE is what I call the next generation social economy platform. We've heard of social media, we've heard of the creator economy, but what the world is about to head into is the social economy.
Talk to me.
Where you monetize your life in any way, shape, or form for free if people want to tip you. But if you want to have subscribers, if you want to be Netflix, if you want to be Hulu, if you want to be Disney Plus, you can be Disney Plus. And that's the important part about it. So we have 6 formats. So we have photos and videos, which are posts, stories, live, audio chat rooms, long form content like YouTube,
my God,
and short form content like TikTok that we call Flicks. All in one app, the Everything app. There's never really been an Everything app, but FANBASE is really the Everything app.
What about going live? Live stream?
You can live stream. Yeah, absolutely. You can live stream on FANBASE.
Take me to day one, though, Isaac. What was it that gave you the idea to say, you know what, it's time for me to crank up a social media for my culture?
I was two things.
Also, how were you able to do it here and not go to Silicon Valley, sir?
That's one of the best questions I've been asked. First question is, I didn't have any plans on building a social media platform. Okay. But I happened to see this young kid from Memphis go viral and dancing in the Spider-Man costume, and I just shot him a DM on Instagram because he went from he had 300,000 followers in a day. Yeah. And so he asked me to manage him. He was like, yo, are you a manager? Can you manage me? And I was like, no, I don't manage content creators. But the thought crossed my mind that he's trying to figure out how to capitalize off this virality. Yeah. How do I make money off this?
Exactly.
And a friend of mine had told me about Twitch maybe right around the same time. And he wanted me to join Twitch. And I was like, he's like, yeah, but you got to stream for 15 hours a day minimum to really make money. I was like, I don't have the time for that.
Hell no. Yeah.
Not at all. So I was like, nah. And so then when I talked to him, I left that conversation. I was like, yo, we need an app where people can subscribe to people just like we subscribe to Netflix. Social media platform where you can follow anyone for free. But if you want to, you can subscribe to a person. So first thing I did is research. Okay, what is out there that is like that? And at the time, I could only find 2 platforms that were even remotely close to FANBASE, but still were not FANBASE. One of them was OnlyFans. One of them was Patreon. Okay. And the big difference between both Patreon and OnlyFans was, number one, neither one of those are communities. So you don't build community there. You don't have friends and comment on posts and post a lot and go back and forth and all that kind of stuff, right? Because you really go there just to see what you want to see and then you leave. So you go there to see the naked girl, bad chick. You go there to see the content creator you want to see on Patreon, and you leave. And then secondly, the way that you subscribe to people, you had to use a credit card, and you had to put an address and the CVV and that whole long process. And I wanted to be able that people could use their iPhone or their Android just like we pay, for apps and stuff, to do it that way. Okay. And so that's how I wound up coming up with the idea. So I was like, okay, now I got to build this thing. And I didn't know where to begin, but I happened to be a member of the Gathering Spot when it first opened. And the cool thing about the Gathering Spot is there's a bunch of different people there that are in different industries. Exactly. And I met a lot of people from the tech industry there. And so those people that I met, I was having conversations with them, and I was just picking their brain, like, so how does this? What do I need to do this? And this is what you got. And they were like, you need this, you need a CTO, you need to raise capital, you need X, Y, Z, you need all these things. I said, okay, cool. So I had been licensing my music for TV and film for the last 7-8 years. So I had left the music business early. I was like, you know what? I just want to put my music on like in this library, and if Love and Hip Hop want to use it or the NBA on TNT want to use it, they'll use it. I was making money.
Come on.
So I was like, all right, cool. So I was able to actually advance myself some money from that I've been making. So I said, I went to BMI. I said, okay, let me get $200,000. So I advanced myself $200,000 of my money that I would have made licensing my music on TV and film, and I spent that to build the very first version of FANBASE. So I bet on myself.
You damn right.
To the tune of $200,000, but it paid off.
Exactly.
Okay, so you got a guy like me who always on social media, you know, from Twitter to Facebook, Instagram, Bigo, and I also downloaded FANBASE. How can you keep people on there who do come there and, you know, explore the app, you know what I'm saying, for my own personal reasons? Like, how do you keep a person like me there who be on all these other platforms that's keeping me there?
Well, that is probably one of the hardest things to do for two reasons. One, because of the pattern and the rhythm that people are with social media. It's really a relationship. Whether you know it or not, you actually have a relationship with your social media, like a girlfriend or a boyfriend. You really are, like, people are involved. And when you think about it, you see people all the time talking about how they don't get treated right by the platforms. They don't appreciate them, but they stay.
Yeah.
It's a terrible relationship that you won't leave. Like, leave. And they won't just leave, but you won't. Because I've been on there for 10 years. I've invested time.
That's true.
I put a lot of energy into this relationship. And I just can't walk away.
Can't do it.
You know what I'm saying? And FANBASE come on, I know you talking right, but it's not the same, and I'm afraid. And I done built up so much time. I don't know. It's a psychological, like, it's a psychological situation, right? So that's one. And but for the average person, that doesn't really matter. For the Black community, it's extremely important because we are the energy, the battery power that makes social media work. So our presence on the platform gives value to the platform. So as an underdog as we are, I didn't go to Silicon Valley. Now here's why I didn't go.
Talk to me.
The music business is the only reference of information of how business works that I had. So what I had to do was I had to take the music business and just lay like a filter over top of like the tech industry. And when I did it, it kind of matched up. I was like, okay, so as my friends were explaining to me, you have to create value for your platform and raise money. If you don't, you have to bootstrap. So bootstrapping sounds like, okay, I'm independent. Okay, cool. So then the more you do independent, the more valuable you get to the labels, which are the VCs. So the VCs are like the label. And then the App Store charts are like the Billboard charts. So you're telling me that if I get hot without VCs and I can go up the charts on the App Store, I can sign a deal that if I normally came in there with just saying, hey, look, I got some talent, you got some good things here, but let me get your masters, your publishing, a 7-album deal, let me get, the joint venture 50-50, 360 deal, part of your touring, all that. And I was like, I don't want to do that. That's not even where I come from.
Come on.
So I was like, okay, I'll bet on going independent and doing so. And so that's why I didn't go to Silicon Valley, because a lot of my friends that taught me about tech, that's what they would say. They were like, man, I got voted out of my company.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't give me the money to raise. I had a board and they voted me out. Because, let's say you're a founder, right? So let's say you're a founder. And then we're VCs. And we say, okay, we give you $500,000 for your company. We want board seats. All right, so all three of us on the board. And we give you $500,000. Let's say your company get to like, I don't know, let's say you doubling or tripling your valuation. So we give you $500,000, your company was worth $5 million. Let's say you get to 15. We want to sell. All in favor of selling? Raise your hand. We out. You out. You done. Or we don't think you're doing a good job, so we want to kick you out of the company and bring somebody else to run in to make sure that our investment continues to scale. But you did that. So for me, I remember those lessons. I also have what I call my generational trauma, which is actually a weapon, which is what happened to my dad in the music business. So him losing a lot of rights to his music. So I've never built anything or wanted to be a part of anything that I couldn't own.
That's what we just talked about earlier.
I never did
confirmation.
Exactly.
I never did a publishing deal in the music business. Never did one. It hurt. It cost me. It hurt me in the business. That's why I left, because it was like every time you want to go somewhere, somebody want to sign your publishing, and I was like, look, man, And I remember the amount of value that had. So I was like, okay. So what I did with FANBASE was I trademarked the name before I even built the company. I said, let me trademark it.
Kind of your business.
Yeah, trademark it before I can do that. Yeah. And then I remember Steve Jobs at some point getting voted out of Apple as the CEO and the founder.
Yeah.
I was like, how does that happen? And it was because there was only one class of stock involved in the company.
Okay.
So as you take investors, they have stocks. Some of those members have voting shares.
Ooh.
So if the board, part of the company doesn't like what you're doing, they can vote to remove you.
That's right. So
I recall that Zuckerberg had done this thing where they created two classes of stock, where there's common stock, and then there's voting stock.
Yeah.
So I incorporated my company in Delaware to have two classes of stock. Ooh. I own all the voting stock, and if I ever raise capital, I would let people invest in the common stock.
Exactly.
Okay. So I was sitting there with that in the pocket, and I didn't, when I built the app, it took us like 6 months to build it. We launched in 2019. I didn't tell nobody I built it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted it to get, like you said, organic
exactly.
growth. I didn't want to call you, him, my friend Snoop, download the app. I didn't want to do that because I knew if I went into a room, if I went to the labels, they would ask me, how'd you get these people? Oh, I just call my friends. That's not organic.
Yeah.
So you never want to walk into a business with a reason for somebody to tell you no.
Exactly.
You never want somebody to be like, okay, you can't tell me no because I got organic. So I left it up for a year. We got 10,000 users, and people were making $500-$600, like, and then 700,000, a couple thousand. But one user made $6,000 in 1 year with 10,000, with only 10,000 users on the app.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, it works.
Yeah.
So people will pay for content. They'll subscribe to other people.
Yeah.
Boom. 2020 hit, COVID.
Ooh.
Freeze.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, okay, I'm running out of money because I just took the $200,000. Everybody's stuck in the house.
Ooh.
Can't move.
Yeah.
So I had to talk to a VC.
But
damn, the VC gave me confirmation of what I needed to do.
This is my question though, because during COVID, that was the time for the content creator though at the same time. So if you would have held out just a little longer and just pushed the FANBASE brand, do you think it would have caught on without the VC?
No, because I'm gonna tell you what happened at the VC meeting. So I took a meeting with a VC, and they said it was real dismissive. You know how you go to anybody been to a label, they if you ain't nobody, they treat you like shit.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Play your little song.
Yeah.
You play your song, they be on the phone doing all that. And that was kind of the meaning. It was like, okay, she's not really. So at the end, she goes, it was a white woman, and she was like, why would you want to build something that is competing with Mark Zuckerberg and Instagram? Like, he's a god. What makes you think you can take on Facebook and Instagram? And I had a simple, but very, very relevant and very, very factual answer. I said, I can build anything that Mark Zuckerberg can build. He can't build black people.
Exactly.
And your apps don't work without black people.
Exactly.
And that's when I was like, I ain't messing with VCs because it's going to be this conversation all the time.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, cool. I'm straight. All right. Ooh. I still ain't had no money though.
Yeah.
So what do we think? Do we think, like, because I see it a lot, man, and I seen it with a lot of things that Master P do, and I say if Master P would just take his name and his face off of some of the things that he do, I feel like it'll go because some of the ideas be,
brilliant.
Brilliant. And I see it all the time with us, bro. Like, we don't support each other because of what? We think that we getting you rich.
Familiarity bias.
And we don't want to get us rich.
It's familiarity bias.
We don't want to get us rich. Like, do you think that's one of the main reasons is why FANBASE is not going to where it gonna go? Because it's about to go.
So these are great questions. And these questions lead into the timeline of what happened.
Exactly.
So we're in COVID, and I haven't told anybody that I built this app. But then I remember my friend, her name is Dawn Dixon. She raised money doing this thing called equity crowdfunding. I was like, what's that?
Yeah.
It's a law that Barack Obama put in place so that anybody can invest in your company. Because typically with tech startups, rich people invest in tech startups. So you notice how you ain't never heard you ain't never heard like anybody say, yo, there's an app called Uber, you want to invest? There's an app called Instagram.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's an app called Facebook.
Come on.
Nobody ever got that call.
Yeah.
Nobody ever got that call.
At all.
Because there was a law in place that made it illegal for people to invest in those companies. It's called the Accredited Investor Rule. So the Accredited Investor Rule says no one of us can invest in an early stage company unless we make over $200,000 a year for 2 consecutive years,
Yeah.
or are worth $1 million liquid minus our house. So I was like, that's like 99% of people.
Yeah.
So basically, it was a law put in place that rich people, no matter what color you were, had access to the best deals
Exactly.
before everybody did.
Yeah.
And then Obama came and said, that ain't fair. Let's make it so anybody, I don't care if you got a 9 to 5 or whatever, if you want to put some money into a company that's raising capital, I don't care if it's a food company, a tech startup, or whatever, you can.
Yeah.
So then all these companies pop up that allow people to invest, and they're called equity crowdfunding companies.
Yeah.
So boom. So Dawn's the first black woman to raise $1 million in equity crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And so another woman that I know, Timbaland's ex-wife, she said, you need to check out equity crowdfunding. She's in the VC space. She goes, you need to check out equity crowdfunding. I said, okay, let me check it out.
Yeah.
So then I researched it, and I said, okay, cool. And then there's this company called Start Engine that Dawn worked with.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, this other woman that Dawn knows, she raised $1 million. So I said, yo, can you hook me up with Start Engine? Like, shoot me an email. She goes, yeah, I'll connect you. Send an email to Start Engine. Send in a deck that I made. I learned how to make decks on like Keynote on Apple.
Yeah.
But I remember my senseis, I call them my tech senseis, told me you need to make a deck and all that kind of stuff. So I did that.
Yeah.
So then I sent it to Start Engine, and they liked the vision of what we had, and then so they said you can raise capital. So my first goal was to raise $1 million.
Yeah.
There's a couple rules to that situation. Number one, you can't tell anybody that you're raising the money till your raise goes live. All right? So that means you're stuck. You got to be quiet.
Yeah.
So only 2% of people get accepted to equity crowdfunding out of everybody that apply. I don't care what race you are.
Dang.
So boom. So I made it through that. And,
Yeah.
and I'm glad I did it because it made me learn the business side of FANBASE way more in detail and depth than I would if I would have just gone to a VC and let them give me the money.
Come on
so
now.
now I know the corporate structure of my company, the taxes, the legal, SEC, all compliance, all these kinds of things to really get started
Yeah.
because you got to go through that. So,
That's awesome.
But now here's the problem that you're talking about. Now I got to be the face of the company. But most people say, when people say that though, when you are raising capital, any VC will tell you this, I don't invest in the company, I invest in the founder.
That's true.
So it's not a problem. It wasn't a problem.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a choice because being COVID, I'm running out of money.
Yeah.
So all I want to do is raise $1 million for my company.
Yeah.
Boom, we're going to do all that. We're going to try to raise $1 million for our company, get our thing started, XYZ.
Yeah.
So, okay, now this is the crazy story. So right at that same time I get accepted, there's this app called Clubhouse. And one of my friends, this girl that I met in tech, she invites me to Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Now at the time, mind you, there's only 4,000 people on the app. It's super exclusive. This is like early August.
Yeah.
So literally it's like, it might be 10 rooms.
Yeah.
At night, nobody be on the app at like 2 in the morning, everybody in bed asleep. It's
Exactly.
nobody on the app. It's quiet.
Yeah.
And I got on there and I was like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. I said, I'm gonna blow this app up. Cause I know what's gonna happen when I do.
Yeah.
So you used to have invites, cause exclusive can't get in.
Yeah.
So I invited like Snoop Dogg and Charlamagne and Killer Mike and
Yeah.
Hannah Kang and Byron Wright and Sean Gary.
Yeah.
So I invited everybody in Atlanta, everybody just do. Then Fadia Cater come on there. So we inviting people. Before you know it, the entire music business is on there. And then all of a sudden you hear like, oh, Meek on here. Oh, 21 Savage on here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, everybody on the app.
Yeah.
And somebody says it. Now the app's starting to blow up. Now, mind you, FANBASE didn't have audio chat. We didn't even have audio chat rooms at all.
Okay.
I didn't have that yet. Somebody said it goes, here we go. We about to blow up another app we don't own. And I was like, got him.
Oh,
Got him. Because when I launch this round, I'm going to come right back. Then people say, well, you can own this one.
exactly.
So what's up?
Exactly.
And I did. Launched around October 29th, 2020. And that first $50,000 to $60,000 came off of Clubhouse.
What?
Now, here's where it gets interesting. During that time frame, Clubhouse goes from 4,000 users in August to by January, 1 million users. And now there's rumblings that Clubhouse is going to raise money at another valuation off all the entertainers and black people that came and blew the app up.
Oh my God.
So the community on Clubhouse is like, can we invest? So I'm raising my capital.
Yeah.
So at that point, that first 50, 60,000 come off of Clubhouse, I wound up raising not only my million, but an extra, I want to say like 2 or 3 million on a wait list because I did the Breakfast Club and it went viral.
I recall.
So
I recall that.
I went from 300,000 to over $1 million in like 2 hours.
Man.
Went viral.
Yeah.
And then I had a wait list of money. Right around that time, SEC said, okay, now since it's COVID, you can raise up to $5 million in the calendar year. I was like, perfect. Now not only do I have $1 million, now I got extra money I can collect, but I couldn't grab it till March of 2021. But all that process, I hear this Clubhouse thing going on. And I'm like, all right. So then Clubhouse turns around and raises, ready? $100 million at a $1 billion valuation because we blew it up. And granted, I assisted in that.
Yeah.
I will definitely say was a big contributor to that. Back when you used to go on Clubhouse and see who invited you, you could go on everybody's name. Snoop Dogg, Charlamagne, Killer Mike, my name be right there, Hannah King, everybody's name. Ike's the one brought me here. And that led to other people, which led to other people.
Yeah.
So I was like, dang, that's messed up. But I was like, I got money now. So I turned to my CTO, I said, we're going to build audio chat in the fan base. And we built it in 2 months.
That's right.
Now, what I thought was going to happen was that once I built this amazing audio chat into this platform that already had 5 functionalities, that all the people that got shitted on Clubhouse that wanted to invest was like, we're leaving Clubhouse, we're going to invest in Fanbase and move over. And some did, but it didn't really happen like that. And that's where we get into the whole familiarity bias, which most people, it's not foreign to anybody, but most people that you know will not support you. Most of your support will come from strangers.
Facts.
Because we have a familiarity bias. Sometimes it's hate, but sometimes it's just like, I'll get around to it, you my guy.
Exactly.
I'll support your business.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, I need you to support it right now.
Now, nigga. Yeah.
So that's what happened with, me.
So have you ever thought about, how you say audio, have you thought about doing video?
Yeah, we have video.
Yeah, I think they got all the functionality.
We got
on
everything.
there.
Okay.
So now this is my question though, Isaac. You get the millions raised. What do you do with the millions? How do you incorporate that into the business as far as structuring the actual business, marketing, the growth and everything, and for the user experience?
So to build, here's the thing that you learn about tech really quick. And my development team is incredible. We can build it. It's not what you can build. Anything can be built. I have a development team that's incredible, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that was unique about how I wound up with the development team that I did is that initially I was trying to actually hire black developers. Off the gate, I was trying to hire black developers like from the very beginning to actually run the company. I mean, to build the app. And the first guy kind of blew me off, like, not really interested. It's cool, but I got bigger things to do. And the second guys then had their stuff together. So randomly, my attorney, who has been my attorney in the entertainment and music space since like 2004, said, hey, I know a guy that he's like a retired soccer player from Argentina, but he has a development company. And when I did this movie, he built our website, and it was really cheap because he lives here in Atlanta, but the development team lives in Argentina. So I'm pretty sure you could get your app built for way cheaper.
Yeah.
We had a conversation, hooked up. It was like magic. Clicked.
Yeah.
So I hired them to build the app.
Yeah.
Now, what also helps that is that when you're raising capital, as a tech founder, no one will give you a dime unless the person that is technically building your app does not own a part of it.
Damn.
So he had to own part of the app, but we were at the point where I was going to ask him, but he actually ended up asking me.
Okay.
He started me on this, hey Isaac, we've never seen anything like FANBASE before. We built apps for the CDC, Taco Bell, all these big brands, Heineken, whatever. This is something different. We want to know if we can invest and have equity. I was like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So now I got my development team.
Okay.
Now they own part of the company.
Yeah.
So now I can talk my shit. So now I know, like, I bet I can build TikTok.
Yeah.
We can build TikTok, right?
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Come on.
So when I learned that, it's like, it's not about what you can build, it's how fast you can build it. It's resources now.
Yeah.
So somebody can say, hey, can you build dark mode or can you build, video game streaming? I'd be like, we can build it, right? He's like, yeah, but how fast you want it done? You want it done like in a month or you want it like 8 months? And we got 8 month money.
Yeah.
So to keep FANBASE going, we follow our budget. That's why we're still around, because we don't blow money.
Okay.
A lot of these tech founders get $30, $40 million, blow the money in 18 months, boats, girls, Ferraris, cocaine, don't even build nothing. And I'm the black guy here doing the most with the least. And we making it work. But to really meet the demands to get people to adopt to the platform, you need massive amounts of capital.
Okay.
But here's the thing that's important. Again, we are the economic engine of pretty much every entertainment infrastructure in the company. And so what we should be recognizing is like, damn, do we own any of this shit?
Come on.
And we don't.